All right, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for
Symphogear, Season 2, Episode 1. Wait,
All right.
Season 2?
This show actually got continued.
It did. It did indeed. Yep.
Bless it.
And we're calling it Season 2 just so that way it's easier because, otherwise...
Naming conventions are simple in that regard.
Yeah, if someone's not a fan of the show, how do they know what to watch, So,
there you go.
But, the show is actually continuing. The main characters aren't dead. That's kind of helpful.
Yep.
And
it was a happy ending.
Yeah.
Everything worked out really well. We had Fine defeated.
That's right.
Essentially.
It was a very final defeat.
Yep. But things are definitely going to continue.
Right.
Therefore, we have the question, when anything becomes popular enough that it deserves to continue, how do you continue the story? What is the conflict that makes sense to bring things up, continuing bit there?
Will Miku continue to be left out of the loop so that she can be emotionally tortured?
I honestly think Miku is going to get inducted into the
so.
squad.
I hope so.
I think literally those trio, there who are getting a lot of time in the previous, little arc of sorts. I think they're going to get inducted too.
And maybe go international, because now that we have extraterrestrial threats. Mm-hmm. Maybe that whole borders thing needs to be put aside for now.
Yeah, also learning a little
bit
more about what the noise actually is.
Yeah.
A little bit more about that, too. But all that being said, we got to get back to our main characters here, see what's going to be their direction for this season. And given that there are 5 seasons, the idea of how things escalate from here also needs to be something that gets brought up because... Well, at the end of the last season, we had God get brought up, so that was
that was a
cool.
little thing, easily missed, but did happen.
No big deal. But enough babbling on here. So without further ado, let's get into it. All right, everyone. Now be sure to go check out the reaction portion of the video in the description below. Then come back here for the discussion.
Oh my God.
We got ourselves a complete rehashing in a very cool way of kind of the greatest hits of episode 1 of season 1, but also with immediately jumping into the action.
Yep.
A dark, forbearing bit of just a horrific future, someone's horrific past. Who knows?
Yep.
That's its own thing there.
Right. And I'm very curious whether that will repeat in the second episode, because if that is actually the OP for the season, then that means that stuff is the most important thing for this season, basically.
Right, exactly.
That's essentially summing it up, which is crazy to think about.
Yeah, because it very much seemed like that was the stuff for Maria and
her mom,
her mother.
And maybe that's how her mom lost her eye.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
We have this big development with the moon, which
Yep.
I thought to be Jupiter, he thought to be Saturn, but
Right.
it's no,
it's
the
the
lunar
moon.
attack. That was what happened.
The
at the end of
debris
season
that
1.
separated,
created a nice
an orbit,
little ring.
and there you go.
Okay.
All right.
The noise are upgraded in that there are individual ones that have almost an abnormal thing to it. I really am getting major Attack on Titan vibes from this whole episode.
I didn't think of it until you said it, but then when you started listing out the things, I was like, oh, damn.
Yeah, there's a lot of this that very much gives that feel, that vibe.
But
yeah, cool. The girls are working together.
Yep.
Tsubasa has her concert with the just recently in the last few months topped the U.S. charts.
I love how they're not beating around the bush with regards to who the bad guy is, because
or the antagonist.
Or sure, yeah.
We don't know really if they're
there is
evil yet.
well, or to put it another way, there is no one that Hibiki probably won't try and knock him out. It's
of course. We're absolutely going to knock him out, Maria.
It's the bard that's I can and will seduce my way out of this, but replace seduce with Nakama.
It's just persuasion. It's all underneath the persuasion skill.
I will handhold the shit out of you,
yeah,
right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. And
are we going to do this here? Absolutely. Right. Is this really the time for this?
It's always the time. Oh goodness, look at the time. Handholding. So okay, we're in this situation, but she just made her declaration to the world of we are Fine.
Yes.
Which is kind of crazy because now it seems like then this means that this is someone who has been like another Fine basically that has been awoken because of the off-walking waveform or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Yep.
I don't think this is the case, but I want to throw out the idea that does not actually have to be what this is. It could be someone who found out about that, heard about the situation,
sure,
and then basically they formed an organization and we are the end, we are Fine and all that stuff.
Sure.
But if it is actually Fine, oh boy.
Yeah.
World domination. Here we go.
Here we go.
And using the fact that you can control the noise as leverage, that's brilliant.
That is brilliant.
Because it's how many Symphogear users do you have? Doesn't matter.
One or two in every nation, maybe.
Yeah. I also have Symphogear, for one. Two, I control the noise. Like, they will flatten the world if you go against me, right? Like, there's nothing that anyone can really do to stop them. And I love this as a conflict because we were talking about how, like, okay, if this goes further, you have God and all that stuff, right?
Yeah.
But it's not like the world's just gonna, like, be united instantly.
Right. So first we start off with an intercontinental conflict of sorts. Sure.
People are power tripping and okay.
And we have a guy who's, we need heroes in this world. Heroes who will lead the world. And it's like, yes, I wonder what your motivation is.
Wait, are you telling me that the scientist, again, is going to be the surprise villain? like, this very much felt like the Prosody video of this world is imperfect,
What?
Oh, surprise, he's the bad guy. Oh, he gets introduced. He gets handed the MacGuffin. Immediately, explosion. Oh, he's gone and the relic is too. Yeah. I wonder what happened.
Yeah, I love how cliche and simple everything is in the beginning here, because what's probably going to happen is that they're going to peel back the layers and expose that it's actually a lot more complicated than we initially perceive here.
Yeah, not just what's going on, but why.
Why? That's the thing that I think is a little bit crazy here. Fine, a couple things that we know. Well, one, her presence here is not holistically, like you were saying, 100% determined to be actual. We don't know if they're being influenced as like they're a cult of Fine, like they have followed her throughout history.
Sure.
But we know that Fine can inhabit someone's body and control them and take them over. This does not seem to be that on like the surface here. Yeah, like, it could be.
It totally could be. But there's also the idea that even if it is, that doesn't mean it's going to be the same Fine.
Right.
Because there was the amount of time that she spent inhabiting Sakurai Ryoko, where she did all the stuff that she did, right? You know, made the Symphogear, all that stuff, right? Cool.
Yeah.
But that person died. So the genetic material that's been passed on, if that were to awaken again, it wouldn't have any of those memories or experiences.
Well, hold on.
Okay.
Hold on. No. I want to counter that, because that's why she was saying, like I was kind of realizing, that's why she was saying that the world might have been, is because she has the experiences of Fine, who could then look back at the past and the things that could have saved the world over this history. Well, that's the thing.
Yeah.
That's the thing. We don't know from, at the very least, the personality side of things, how much from past Fines has been passed on. So for now, we know that they're affiliated with Fine.
Right.
The fact that there's already a mother-daughter connection here means that on some level there are people in the organization that are not controlled by Fine literally.
Yes.
That then believe in something that is more than just, well, my daughter is dominated by Fine, so therefore I'm going to help with her. No, there's more to it than that.
Also, the fact that she referred to her as mom, that doesn't seem like something that would happen.
That Fine would say.
Fine would say, even if it was something where, like where she is actually Fine, the mom would probably know, and that's why she's helping her with this whole thing, right? So there would be no need to keep up pretense, right?
Exactly.
But then also, there's the idea that what she's doing here is very different from the Fine that we have previously met of the things that she tried to do. She used subterfuge, she used manipulation, and then eventually, her grand plot was revealed and everything. But she didn't do all right, this is the situation. I think the world is mine.
I think the reason for that is because she learned from her mistakes of season 1.
Okay.
This Fine is literally the direct continuation of the previous one, who learned from those mistakes. That's why it was literally a few months.
Yeah.
Like literally a few months ago, she topped the US charts.
Right.
Wow. 3 months ago, the lunar attack happened. Wow, timing coincidence.
Yeah.
Thus, she's now like, okay, I need to utilize the entire world. I can't just
Right.
control Japan subtly from the shadows. I need to literally have the whole world behind me
Yep.
so that I can achieve my goal of meeting God. So
Cool.
I will then directly influence the entire world, probably towards my own ends, which then creates a nice subtle way. This is the thing I think I can tell what the show is doing here is they're trying to prep seasons beyond
3, 4,
this.
5, yeah.
Yeah, well, they probably didn't know how many there were going to be.
Sure.
But prepping those to be like, okay, once this conflict is resolved, however it's resolved here, the world will probably be somewhat united.
Yeah.
And this is the kind of thing of where then you could explore things on the grand
Right.
scale, like we were talking about at the end of season 1's
Yeah.
discussion.
Because even if the world rejects this Fine being, right?
Or unites against her.
Or unites against her, joins her, whatever, right? It's
Whatever.
something where they're kind of put into all the same basket, right? If Fine ends up being defeated, that is a victory for humanity,
Yep,
right?
humanity.
The world, right? So, and that could set a good stage for things to move beyond that. Yeah.
But okay, we're going to start off with a concert where everyone is held hostage.
Yep.
Tsubasa has to make a tough decision of, do I fight back
Right.
and make a stand basically that could end up leading towards world war, basically.
Sure. Yeah.
Because
At the very least, slaughter of the people here that are the hostages.
also then being able to find a way to test to see, wait, why does she have Gungnir?
Yeah.
Because there's multiple questions that come into play here. One, Jacob, you brought up the good point of a shard could have lodged in another person that viewed that concert in the same way as it did with, Hibiki.
Yeah.
But that seems less likely the more and more we look at the way Gungnir was displayed here.
Right, because this Gungnir, we went back and checked with episode 1, and this is the same color scheme that Kanade had.
Yeah, this very much seems like the true form of Gungnir.
Right.
Comparatively to what Hibiki has.
Right.
Which seems to be something a little bit more of her mixed in with Gungnir.
Which makes sense because it's just a shard, fragment, and it lodged inside her body and everything.
It's been slowly spreading throughout her body.
Right. So
and doing all
there's
that
there's
stuff,
good
yeah.
explanation and reason for that. But if this is the rest of Gungnir, the true form of Gungnir, then that's
That adds something that we didn't know about relics in general.
well, and also how did she get it?
Yeah.
Because okay, topping American charts, cool, and all that stuff. How did I would think that after Kanade turned to dust, right? Unless it was just lost, right? Like they
Yeah.
probably would have kept a pretty close eye on it. You know.
Well, that's the thing. Did Gungnir fall at her feet when she disappeared?
Or
'Cause I
did
don't
it
think she
actually
did.
or did it like break with her?
Yeah.
When she did her final aria.
We don't know. I think the part that's really confusing here is that from my immediate perspective here, Gungnir has been passed down almost in the same way that Fine has been.
Sure. Yeah.
And we know that relics are much bigger as a part of the world than Symphogear is. Like this is just a method to utilize the relics.
Now
It's not like that is the full expression of what a relic can do.
if one of the ways that it could have happened is that if this is Fine and Fine has the memories of the other Fine,
Yeah.
right? Then she totally could have had a way to figure out how to get it.
Yeah,
right?
but then the Japanese
You'd
everyone
think
there
they
would have
would have
been
known
like,
about it. Yeah, yeah.
Gungnir is missing.
Right. Like even if she like tucked it away, hid it away or whatever back then, right? Because here's this thing. All right,
Yeah.
yoink.
Yeah, I think that we're looking at a situation where I don't want to go into time travel theories, but Gungnir shouldn't be here, based on what we know. That is something that the show has to just the show has to explain, and thus this is the way that they're escalating things. Is that you still have no idea what the relics are, or not just what they
Sure.
are, why they're here.
Yeah, because that's one of the things that I was actually the reason why I was like almost kind of disappointed when the Fine Ryoko thing ended up coming to light was because I wanted Ryoko to stick around so that way she could be the in for the rest of the characters into exploring some of the secrets of the world if they manage to Nakama her.
Right. And it still makes sense that she is that entity.
Yeah.
She's just the antagonist now that
Right,
can
exactly.
be reborn and continually take humanity in a direction that could be a regression towards where things were back in her time, or a way of, you know, very much the evil person who will be like, yes,
I will unite you.
humanity's evolution must, you know, continue. And it's like,
if only I could cleanse it of its impurities and make it
yeah.
as beautiful as me.
Yeah.
But one of the other things that could theoretically be a possibility is that if you're a being as ancient as Fine, right, and you get reborn, basically, I'm thinking like Voldemort or Lich style or something like that, right? Even if you have this kick-ass awesome plan for world domination, I would, like, if I was in that situation, I would set up little things so that if this didn't work, if I had to reset, get reborn again, whatever, I would have little caches of stuff somewhere so that way I could basically, you know, take all the second best loot and hide it somewhere so that way I could
be out of commission for a few months.
Right, and then I could get geared back up and then be back in business pretty quick.
Right, but again, Gungnir still doesn't make sense to be that.
Right.
It would have to be, really, I would say, her contacts. So the idea that her mom is involved in this means that I think that this is not necessarily the full, exact iteration of Fine that would even make sense to come after season 1. Because I don't think that a mother wants to have her daughter bring about the end of the world.
Well, and also, like,
there's some kind of madness involved here, or some kind of thing that we're not really understanding yet.
And given the fact that we got the situation of her as a child and the whole thing of her mom saving her and stuff like that, and that other person that was doing the final aria, that totally could have been something where, like, maybe there were multiple Fines that had been awoken at a particular time. That totally could be a thing, right? But what that implies to me is that there is some importance in the past of this character that is not the past of Fine. The past of, like, when they were a child, when they were impressionable. And if Fine were to have been awoken at that point, she would not really be impressionable because she's an ancient being. So that means that this character, the person that is definitely not Fine, is very much important for the plot moving forward. Otherwise, they wouldn't put it in this really creepy, awesome scene at the beginning of the episode of the season.
Yeah,
right?
and it feels like it's a person who is invoking a relic that is the one that was on the computers of the mom's vehicle that she was in. And then there's this slight image here in the very beginning that shows something that looks very much like it, probably as the armor or symphogear of sorts that the girl was wearing when the transformation sequence like finishes, like it's over and she's no longer using whatever that was.
Yeah.
And then she's like begging her, like, please get out of here or something. And she just turns around. There's blood crying from her eyes and tears as well. And then her eyes start to like darken and stuff. Now, the mother seems to have saved Maria here.
Right.
But that's probably where she got hurt, like you were saying, like she lost her eye. But that feels very, very, very curious.
You don't do something like that casually. Like, that has an immense amount of importance, at the very least in this season, if not for the show moving forward. So, But, okay, like, I am very much down for this kind of development for the season. I love how to the point it is with the conflict. And the visuals are also stellar. Like, both character animation and just, you know, backgrounds and stuff, seeing the crowd surge and cheer and all of that.
Yeah. Little random detail, but they really make me want to
look at the lyrics of the song.
Well, not look at the lyrics of the song. This is a silly thing. Look at Maria as a cat girl because of the way her hair is tied up, and it's even the same thing in the little flashback thing. But the song seemed to foreshadow some things. There was the Phoenix song, you know, Rebirth and all that. So,
which is,
you know,
dope.
But it feels apropos given that this is supposedly the
she's a
entrance stage
Phoenix.
for a but also a rebirth of a ancient being. In the flames of war, basically. So we'll see where this takes us. But okay. It looks like we're about to have a not Kanade or Hibiki fight the world here.
And I'm so down for that.
I'm so down for that.
Like, Oh,
But yeah,
yeah.
they really want us to, with that last little image at the end being a thing to show us that, that relic again.
thing. Uh-huh.
What is this?
Like, it looks like a fetus. Like a little worm fetus.
It looks like a skull to me.
Well, yeah, the skull was the first thing I thought of, but like if you look at the top as like the head, and then like a worm tail, and it's curled around with these tiny little arms, you know, like.
Sure.
But it could also totally just be a mouth, and those are like pincers or something.
And it's not awakened yet, maybe.
Right. Like either way, love what we got here.
Yeah. So there we go. Season 2, Episode 1. Thank you so much for watching this episode's reaction and discussion. If you want to see the next episode's reaction and discussion right now, though, go check out the link in the description below. For our Patreon, you can get an early access there. You can watch full-length timer reactions there, and all this comes with Discord access, so you can chat with us in the community there about this show, about anime in general, and also be sure to check out our Twitch channel.
We stream every weekday. The info's in the description.
Yeah, so if any of that interests you, we'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all next time.